Hello, Jesse McDougall here, recording this Sunday, October 8th, I think. Today we're going to cover another book. Very, very, very famous book. If you've got a business degree, you've got, worked on Wall Street or any of these top financial places, Barbarians at the Gate, The Fall of RJR Nabisco. This is a huge, huge business story. One of the biggest business stories. And if you go to an average business school, you might not hear about this, but if you go to like a top university business school, I believe you read this book in your curriculum. Now, what does this mean, Barbarians at the Gate? Let's step back. Let's analyze that for a second, if you don't mind. Barbarians at the Gate. Earlier I covered history about Rome and the War of Carthage, Punic Wars 1 and 2. I'm not sure if there's a third Punic War, but after Hannibal was defeated, the threat to Rome was so huge that they didn't want that to happen again. Just even the threat of what Hannibal did to Rome, Rome didn't want that. And when Rome takes over countries, they usually don't annex them. Annex means they just completely wipe, just devastate the city, kill everything, burn everything to the ground. They don't usually do that, but they did that to Carthage. Carthage was like just a beautiful city, and North Africa, and barbarians at the gate. So what does that mean? Barbarians, literally, Attila the Hun coming to the gate. If you know the story of Attila Hun, I'll cover that another one. That one's one of my favorites. But barbarians at the gate, you've got like literally warriors at the gate going to kill your civilization, your city. So that's what barbarians at the gate means in terms of like human history. So it's a pretty serious comment, pretty serious comment. So what's this book all about? Okay, long story short, this book is about the tobacco industry. The biggest tobacco giant there, where they started from, might be the shoot. I don't know if it's the 1700s or it's like it just started. Anyway, back in the old days, you see, back in the old days. So this book starts off back in the old days, comes all the way up to, I don't know, whatever, 1990 or something. So it talks about the evolution of the tobacco industry and how much money's involved and the cash cow tobacco industries are. These tobacco companies, man, the amount of cash they are just producing is just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. In this book, they actually talk about e-cigarettes before, and now e-cigarettes are super popular because they're always making the transition into, because you got to survive, right? Because, these people aren't stupid. They know that tobacco's going down, tobacco's bad for you, and you got to move on to something else. So they're moving the money somewhere else. Let's see if I have any. But this book was so cool. It's a huge book. It's, let's see here. It's about 550 pages. The font's pretty small, but this is a page turn. This is a book you're not going to put down. This is definitely a 5 out of 5. Now, this is good for people in business. If you want to increase your business IQ, just learn about being a winner. The main character in here, I forget his name. The main guy. He was from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Canadians. I'm Canadians. So, and no, we don't say a boot. We say a lot of times, but Californians say hey, so I try to say hey. Anyways, so this guy was relatively no one, the main character in this book, until he was 40 years old. So why is that important? Why is that motivating? Because if you're an upcoming entrepreneur, if you want to, some of my friends, man, I love them to death. I love them to death, but like when I talk to them, they're like defeated. They're like, oh, I wish I could have done things differently. It's like, dude, you're fucking 35 years old, man. You still got 65 years to live, dude. You could change your life. You could like one small decision away of taking another path, whatever you want. But the cool thing for me with motivating was, because I get like that sometimes too, I'm not where I want to be, for my age and, where I should be. It's like, well, that doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is today. So this gentleman in this book, who is the main character in here, he he was 40 years old before he ever started making money. 40 years old when he just got into his groove. So I don't know off the top of my head, but there's countless stories and stories of people getting their wealth when they're 60, 70. Things finally come together. So if you're looking to making a jump in the money world or something, or set up a future, there's a path to finances and just personal financial planning. It's called like building your financial house. You set the ground floor. You lay the concrete, right? Lay the concrete, and then you do the framing, main floor, and you build that way. But a lot of times people focus on their financial house. They try to build the kitchen first when they haven't even laid the concrete, and it just doesn't work. So going back to this book here. So this book is about the main character. Well, they start off like from the guy who started, like down to like horse and wagon tobacco trading, all the way up to a publicly traded company, and he takes his company public, and he wants to buy it out. And there's like literally, that's when the wolves come in, people going to buy this company, and the stock price just shot up, and it just got like out of control. And that's where things got really exciting, because then it was like, then you're really playing like war. This is like real. It's not real war, but it's from business people to the mindset of war. And this is where the art of the deal and all these tactical things and playing chess and playing people and strategy came in huge. And we're talking billions of dollars here. So this is definitely an awesome book. Let's see what else I have to say about it. Yeah, this book was good. So I really liked it for the motivating factor that the main character was Canadian, and he didn't really get going until he was about 40 years old. So that's motivating for me. So because I don't I don't need to be 22 years old and be a millionaire. I mean, that'd be awesome for sure, but I've got a lot of life knowledge and corporate knowledge that I can apply to my life now for the rest of my life as well. And I don't ever regret my path. It's your path. Just figure out your path. What else is good in here? Yeah, just there's a group of guys in here. They control more money than the country of Pakistan. Like they're like 4 dudes. It's like, what? So that's what we say, barbarians at the gate. So the metaphor for this novel and story is that this company's public, and the barbarians are there. The wolves are there to eat the meat. The meat is on the table, but who's going to get the meat, and how much are they going to pay for it? And for like the hugest tobacco company in the world. Let's see, I highlighted a few things here in this book. I'll just read them out quickly. Okay, the first way to build significant wealth was through equity ownership, not salary and bonuses. And second, you didn't need to do any LBO to build equity. You could give yourself stock options. Oh, so LBOs are leveraged buyouts. So if you study the world of finance and money, there's new products they make up. Like mortgages are very common now, but at one point, mortgages were a new product. Like, what? A mortgage? So leveraged buyouts. What's another one? Credit default swaps. Those are all new. People just making money. So yeah, what they're saying is you can build significant wealth by getting equity ownership in a company. A few things. Deal-driven, yield-driven, nomadic lot. They said their mission was to serve company investors, not company traditions. And that's that statement there. Let me read that again. Deal-driven, yield-driven, nomadic lot. They said their mission was to serve company investors, not company tradition. Now that, in my opinion, is the root of all evil. When you have, and this is getting like kind of a fairly serious topic, companies that is just for profit, and that's when they start pushing the ethical boundaries. That's when the greed of men come out, and that's when evil things happen. And it's the root of a lot of problems in the world. He who's not busy being born is busy dying. He who's not busy being born is dying. That's from Bob Dylan. Just let you think on that one. Oh, Johnson, yeah. Johnson became an accomplished, quick change artist himself, an attribute that would bewilder subordinates for the next 20 years. I don't really know why that's important. Oh, I was just figuring out his characteristics. Staying up all hours with his pals, talking business, sipping scotch and smoking cigars. Unorthodox, yes, but his guerrilla band produced results, and it got Johnson noticed. In 1973, he was promoted to head Standard Brands International Operations. So that I highlighted that because it's important for charisma, right? And this is like the old boys club. So if you kind of want to, with like Mad Men and stuff like that, but these guys got more money than the Mad Men show. Yeah, so right here, Johnson, the Johnson's a guy from Winnipeg, a late bloomer, a man who at age 42 was now starting to find his stride in life. It's important, man. It's important. It's never too late. It's never too late. Oh, this is water, lemon juice, cayenne pepper, and turmeric. I usually drink these every Sunday. Clear out the system. You get a kind of a natural, good energy going. Okay, here's another. Johnson's new boss, Henry Weigel, Weigo, was a tyrant who ran a tight Spartan company. Spartan. Yeah. His proudest accomplishments was a 20-year string of annual profit increases since becoming president in 1950. He did it in part by making certain results went up each year just so much and no more. That way, the company would be hard-pressed to stop its performance the following year, to top. That way, the company wouldn't be hard-pressed to top its performance the following year. It also helped Weigel could pinch a penny until it screamed. So that's the guy that Johnson eventually takes over. So the guy's 42, and he takes over his boss at some point who ran the company for 20 years and increased profits every quarter for 20 years. And he's a tyrant. That's huge. How do you do that? I can't remember the truth. I think he probably politically maneuvered people against him and they annexed him out. Anyways, Barbarians at the Gate, amazing book. I don't want to say beautiful book, but it was like, it's such a, yeah, if you're in the finance world and you're someone, you know this book. So if that's the route you're looking to go in your career, yeah, if you can go into, you can go into an interview, say at one of these like place like Canaccord or some other kind of financial place like stocks and mergers and acquisition type company, investment firms. You talk about Barbarians at the Gate. Yeah, you're going to stick out ahead in your interview for sure. You're going to create some rapport like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about ish, right? Or it's like, hey, this guy is worth investing in our time. That's the thing. Because when you're getting hired at positions, like key positions, it's an investment for you because you're investing your time into someone else's company, but they're also investing their time into you. So, yeah, it's got to be a win-win. Anyways, take care. Any questions, let me know. Barbarians at the Gate, 5 stars out of 5. And man, if you read this book before you go to business school, your just mindset will be just like up here, and then if you go to business school, you have to come down here. But that's cool because if you start with the finish line, reverse engineer backwards, right? So when I went to school, I always thought I'd be running a company. So any course I was in, marketing, human resources, or whatever, I would always keep the attitude that, okay, why do I need this? Why this is important for running a company? That's how I thought the entire time. When some people like they do organizational behavior and they just like, organizational, who cares? It's like, yeah, I feel you, man, but I'm just going to still study this because why is this important for when I need to run a business? You have all these different types of people and their behaviors. That's a whole specialty. Anyways, take care, guys. Have a happy Thanksgiving in Canada. my U.S. friends. See ya. Bye.